Hey y'all, welcome back to Storytime Part 2, Betrayal, right? So, I forgot to tell y'all that this was a very devastating situation. Now, when I find the picture was clean and fresh and new. Okay, you know, if you had a picture for a few years, the edges are round, you know, it looks like you've had it a while. This picture did not look like that. Not at all. Not at all, right? So I knew that he was lying. Plus he had on the sweater that I bought him a few months earlier, right? Okay, so he was going to stay down with the lie because he's a liar. He was a pathological liar, right? So he's going to go down with the lie. And I said, well, why do you have it in your bag right now? Why are you carrying it around like it's a memento, right? He said, no, I was going to send this to my friend. His friend was locked up, and he was going to send that to his friend. Now then, I took offense because why you sending that picture? Now, his friend knew me and I knew him. Why are you sending a picture of her? Was this what was this for? Look who I'm with now? What was this about? He says he was going to introduce them. Okay, right? I knew in my heart of hearts, because he had on the sweater that I bought him, that he was lying. Now, let me tell you what I did, y'all. Because I was of two trains of thought. I said I should go over her house right now and beat the brakes off of her. She got a pistol over there, so she might end up shooting me, right? That was thought number one. Then I said, I'm gonna go over there and just set the picture down on the table and see her reaction. The reaction would tell me everything I need, even though I already know what I need to know. That's why God told me to look in the bag, right? But you know what I decided to do, y'all? Nothing. I did nothing. I never spoke to her again. But let me tell you, I forgot. Let me go back a little bit. So before I found the picture, in fact, I found the picture later on in the summer. 4th of July, it may have been 4th of July. No, it wasn't 4th of July because I always popped up on 4th of July. It was the holiday before 4th of July. What is that, Memorial Day? Memorial Day, I always get up early and barbecue. I had a barrel grill, so I would always get up and barbecue, you know, early in the morning, right? And me and my daughter and my cousin was sitting in the yard, and I was barbecuing. There was a strange reaction, which I didn't notice until later on when my daughter brought it to my attention after I told her about the picture that I saw, and I formulated my plan and my thoughts about the picture. We were all sitting out there just talking, just chilling like family do. When he came outside, I don't even think he spoke to her, but he went on about his business, right? She quickly, abruptly got in her car and pulled off with no explanation. Thought it was strange, but okay, she got something to do. Go ahead, I'll see you, cuz. Thought nothing of it. Why? Because I trusted her with my whole heart. She was one of them people, like my sister, who I would thought would never ever do anything to hurt or harm or betray me. Period. Hands down. Right? No questions asked. I'd have fought you if you'd have told me that she would have did something to hurt me or lie on me or betray me or go behind my back and do anything. It's how much I trusted her. Right? Didn't think nothing of it. So we fast forward to when I find the picture later on in the summer. And now, mind you, the picture was in February. That was Labor Day. So time had went on, right? You still got this picture in your bag. Right? Is that a memory? What is that? So he says he was sending that to his friend. Okay, you sending a picture to your friend. All right. The friend did write him all the time. I just didn't believe it. There was nothing he could say to make me believe it. But like I said, I had words with him. And I told him, I said, so are you trying to break up a family? At the time, again, I did not know he was a narcissist. I did not know he had no feelings for anyone but himself. Really didn't care about himself now that I look back on it, right? I said, you don't break up family. Our kids this is my family. We have children. They're cousins. You know, her sisters was my cousin. These my people, right? You're trying to break up a family? What was your motive? Were you thinking and you did not care? Again, remember, I did not know he was a narcissist. So I now it all makes sense. He didn't care. He has no empathy, sympathy, none of that. He has no feelings, period. But at the time, I couldn't understand, what type of Negro are you, right? To mess with my cousin, all the women in the world, right? Now, I told I told one of my close girlfriends and I told my sister. They both said, you need to ask her, you don't know what happened. I don't need to know. First of all, because God told me to look. That's all that matters. God told me to look because he wanted me to know that. Okay? Number two, he had on the sweater that I bought him the previous Christmas. All right? There was no need for me to have a conversation with her. Even though I thought about it. I thought about taking it over there and just setting it on the table and looking at her face. But I felt no need to make her lie. I felt no need to put her on the spot. Now, was that because I looked up to her, I admired her, she was my sis, my cousin? I don't know what that was. I just didn't feel the need to do that, right? I still have the picture right now. I can put my hands on it right now, right? And we've been broke up 5 years. I still have the picture. I never spoke to her again, right? I never spoke to her again. I looked at him a whole different way. I'd already been looking at him differently, but I looked at him a whole different way. Now, we may have stayed together because I can't remember exactly what year that was. We were together 10 plus years. I can't remember what year that was. I want to say may have been 7 or 8 because I was on the way of not being bothered with him, right? But I needed him financially, so that's why I stuck with him, right? So I could straighten things, get myself together on what move I was going to make, right? But, and it was my house, it was my home, it was paid for, right? And I wasn't worried about somewhere to live. I just had been with him so long in my mind. And I see how women do this, where they with somebody, they take on their persona, they don't know what to do without them. And my daughter said to me one time, Mom, you was making it before you met him. I was like, ding, 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 you damn right I was, right? But I was so engrossed in him and his life, right? So we never spoke again. And as time went on, I realized she thought I knew before I knew. This is the cousin. I don't care where I went, what city I went to, what I was doing, she was coming. No matter where I was. If I went to Timbuktu, give her a minute, she'll be there, right? She never called me. Never called me and said, what's wrong? I ain't talked to your cousin in a minute. Never. Never, ever. Okay? So all of that let me know that she was guilty, right? She never called me. And like I said, it had been some months we had talked, which never really went on. But I'm busy living my life. She busy living her life. Didn't think nothing of it, right? But I know when I look back, there were telltale signs. And this particular cousin didn't mind being a side piece. She didn't mind that. She had been a side piece already. She's probably still a side piece of that same man for years, right? As long as I had been with my dude. So she was cool with position number 2, right? And a lot of women think that whatever this man is giving this other woman, he's going to give you. That's not always the case. It's not always the case. Not always the case. And that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen for her. Now, if you want to know what else she did, got to stay tuned for part 3. All right? Part 3 coming.